Hello, it's Jack. Part of my Tikkun Achdus initiative, I'm going to start reading little sections of a small book called Illuminating the Eyes, Our Eyes. Here's the introduction. I just got to jump into it. The 21st century confronts the Jew with unique challenges as never before, and everybody else for that matter, not just Jews, but this book is particularly Jewish. The long years of exile are drawing to an end, and the dark side is in its death throes, fighting with all its might before it can be vanquished forever. As the curtain comes down on the very last act, who will finally win the day? The dark side is desperate to prevail. It's now or never, and this is his last shot to try and shake us up. No holds barred, ripped away from all former standards of modesty and decency, and we who seek to avoid the impure, feel fragile and vulnerable to provocation and assault. It feels like there's some worldwide conspiracy that's out to suck everyone down into the mud, which is not far from, that is basically what's happening. The method may be subtle and suggestive, or shrill and aggressive, but it almost always seems to aim its barbs towards our eyes. Living in today's race for instant fun, and with the prevailing attitude that anything goes, the YOLO attitude, you only live once, so you got to do it now. How does a Jew hope to keep his eyes pure and holy? The commuter packed his briefcase, the hiker his backpack, the climber his ropes. Similarly, the Jew who has Inyane Kedusha, right, matters of Kedusha, in the forefront of the matters of holiness, is translated the word in Hebrew with the Hebrew word. Inyane Kedusha is matters of holiness, holy thoughts and things. In the forefront of his consciousness, needs to be equipped when he's going somewhere, being well aware of what might lie out there, ready for a collision course with his eyes. He'll have a plan as well as a backup for minimizing the danger. So that was the introduction. Now we're going to dive into the fundamentals of Shmiras Einayim, which is Shmiras Einayim is the guarding of the eyes, which is like that's the English translation. Part 1, the power of Torah. Hashem tells us, his beloved children, I created the Yetzer Hara, I created the Torah as the antidote. This is in Gemara Kiddushin, Daf 30b, meaning Amud Beis. The Shmiras Einayim observes that if Torah is the remedy which Hashem prescribed, then that's final. Shmiras Einayim is the path of the righteous, path of the just. Oh crap. Okay, well, I guess my computer. Okay. Shmiras Einayim. Then that's final, right? Okay. Success will not be possible without the Torah. Torah learning releases profound powers, sheltering the learner from sin. The more important involvement in Torah learning, the higher the level of protection. To strengthen your commitment to Torah study, you could use Musar, which turns up your inner fire. Why not start some new subject or researching some topic that happens to interest you? This will help you even when you are not in front of your sefer, in front of your book that you're learning, whatever it is. And when in the street, mentally reviewing some Torah thoughts or listening to a Torah podcast or lecture will become your portable protection. Other practical suggestions. So that first one was just the power of Torah. Now we're going to have some other practical suggestions. Although thinking Torah thoughts is the ideal, this may not always be practical. The following suggestions are no substitute for being absorbed in Torah thoughts, but they will serve as a mental toolbox. Anyone, anywhere, need only draw out the appropriate tool to deal with the present nisayon, or test in English. Do you have any currently inspiring or absorbing topics to chew on? Perhaps just keep mentally singing some favorite song. And it often proves worthwhile to put aside some interesting reading for long-distance travel. The point is to stay wrapped up in your own thought world and detracted from the stimuli of your surroundings. If the fancy strikes you, opt for some make-believe things, right? Your imagination is endless. Pick a particularly stirring song or inspirational statement of Chazal. Then in Chazal are the sages of days of yore, the past, the rabbis of the past. Then, in your mind, sing these words to a huge orchestra of talented players. Over and over as you advance towards your destination, the majestic words are being vividly etched into your psyche. You're untouchable in this moment. On your own silvery cloud of chizuk, which is strengthening in Yiras Shamayim, is fear of heaven, disconnected from the humdrum streets below. They're very creative when they translate Hebrew words into English. These are the source, it seems. By focusing his conscious mind on this imaginary scene as he goes his way, the Yid, the Jew, the individual, is effectively erecting a tamper-proof casing for the priceless Yiddish neshama that nestles inside of him, meaning your soul, your godly soul. Not your animal-like body, but your godly soul which is within it. And whatever is going on outside soon begins to recede into the subconscious, becoming not much above a hum, whilst his own peaceful little space becomes freer of the indiscriminate bombardment from all sides. Obviously, some days and some parts of the journey are going to be better than others. Serenely, he bears aloft the ultimate crown jewels, two holy Jewish eyes, or just eyes in general. It doesn't have, you can be anybody. And he is determined to keep clean. Oh, that he's determined to keep clean. He has two eyes that he's determined to keep clean. Of no interest to him are the blaring billboards, the colorful hubbub of comings and goings. His attention will not be deflected. He is an ambassador of his holy, glorious nation. How very different from Mr. Average's style of travel, where we're always looking at signs and advertisements and this thing or that thing, whatever we pass by on the street or drive by. Okay, having a positive attitude is another tool. It would seem that Shmiras Einayim, guarding your eyes, must be fraught with negativities, and we need to keep on nudging ourselves. Don't look, keep your eyes down, never mind what you're missing out on. But constraining unruly urges can be a bitter struggle, because trying to suppress powerful desires is like squashing down a coiled spring that is gathering the strength to jump right back up with more force than before. Right, you're just whatever, increasing potential. The answer to this, says Rav Chaim Friedlander, Zikron Tzadik L'Bracha, meaning his memory should be blessed. He says, is to focus on the benefits of guarding one's eyes. The struggle then is no longer between enjoying a certain pleasure and giving it up, but rather between choosing one pleasure in favor of another one. Sending ourselves positive messages and cultivating a positive attitude might be far more helpful. We could reiterate our basic premise that deep down we really want to stay inside the Torah's safety net and be clean and pure. We're not seeking to be awash in momentary thrills. We choose to rise above that kind of thing. They leave long-term damage and have already caused untold havoc in enough areas. We'll go for the gold, true spiritual wealth, and eternal bliss. This is the way. This style of thinking is far more effective. We are no longer suppressing our basic desires, taking pride in preserving one's purity by saying no to forbidden pleasures gives a marvelous boost to the morale. A spirited and upbeat attitude turns Shmiras Einayim, guarding the eyes, into an informed preference as to how we wish to live, rather than a difficult sacrifice which drains our energy. By choosing a more positive attitude, it is no longer necessary to keep the palm pressed down so hard on the coiled spring of lust. The roaring fires of our unruly passions begin to behave themselves and to lose their edge. This is me, happy to march under the banner of Shmiras Einayim. Okay, that in that vein, the sefer Ve'hayir Einayim, which is this book, was written to spell out some of the wonderful benefits and rewards granted in this world and in the next for Shmiras Einayim, guarding one's eyes in our challenging times of 2024 and beyond. It gives the reader clear guidance and tips, which is what I'm now going to try and give over to you, anybody who watches this, whatever it may be. Clear guidance and tips, and I'm going to help you regain your footing when you feel, or I feel, I'll just reading this for myself, that we're losing ground, right, in this battle. In itself, just learning about matters of purity will help us rein in and control our impulses. The Midrash in Parshas Naso, Parak, or chapter 14, verse 4, promises that whenever we truly toil over a particular Torah teaching, Hashem, God, will remove from us the desire to commit that sin. We get a kickstart by reminding ourselves that moment by moment, our Shmiras Einayim is bringing immense satisfaction to God. And the good news is that the real uphill struggle is only for the first bit. Right? Once the beginning is always hard. A lot of Hasidish sefarim, Hasidish rabbis speak a lot about how the beginning of any journey is always hard. But once you're like once you're like on the trail, so to speak, like it's a whole thing to get packed up and make lunches and make sandwiches and get ready for your outing or whatever it is. You're going on a hike. But once you're on the trail, it's like now you're just walking. Like you have no thing. Like you already prepared everything. It's already ready to go, and you're already on the trail. You got to the trailhead, and now you're on your hike. So, but getting there, getting everything ready, getting everything packed up and ready to go, and then getting there, and then you got to make sure everybody, whatever, if you're hiking with other people, don't even get me started. It's a whole other thing because you got to make sure everybody else is there on time. So, the beginning is very difficult. But, the Mizrahi Sharim assures us, this was the book called Duties of the Path of the Just, is the English translation, by the Ramchal, assures us that Kedusha starts off as effort, right, with holiness starts off as effort, but then it becomes to us as a reward. At first, it's work. Following that, it's handed to us as a gift. Only the first struggles are so seriously tough. The Chinuch, sefer Chinuch, this is about, I think it's a Chinuch. Either way, the Chinuch writes that if you shut your eyes not to see evil once, it will make it easier to do so many more times. If we restrain ourselves now, we will rejoice in our lot forever. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, towers like a mountain, but as soon as we kick some of the old habits, the road ahead is surprisingly smoother, and all it takes is a slight but continuous input to keep us in the driver's seat. That is the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was beneficial, and I'm going to try and keep doing this every day for the next month. As we finish up Shovavim Tat, which is the 6 weeks plus the 2 weeks in the leap year of the first 8 parshas of the second book of the Torah, Shemos, Exodus in English. I hope you have a great day, and you're blessed, and Hashem should be with you in all your ways, and to integrate some of these lessons I'm giving over. Sweet.